What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF, man. Sorry about the first video. We're having a bit of audio technical difficulties, but I'm back. So, more bad news for Laker Nation, as you guys already heard. Jason Kidd was just interviewed, and unfortunately, the news continues to be bad. If you guys haven't heard, Kurt Rambis, along with Rob Pelinka, are handling the interviews. So that's really bad news. That means that the report we heard earlier by a couple of sources that the Lakers had already found another president of basketball operations was potentially false. Now, we still don't know all the details, but this is really bad, guys, simply because Kurt Rambis doesn't have a very good track record. And again, he's somebody else that's a part of the Lakers family. So, it's really bad when you have somebody like Kurt Rambis running potentially the franchise. And even though it hasn't been announced, he could potentially be stepping into that role. Now, am I willing to give him a chance? I'm willing to give anything a chance. I'm always open-minded, right? But at the same time, it's just not a good look. It continues to look like Jeanie Buss running a mom and pop shop, right? That continues to pass down from generation to generation. And instead of doing it the right way, hiring the right basketball minds and the right people, she continues to keep it within the Laker lineage, right? Laker royalty. So, that's pretty bad. I'll get into the Luke Walton issue. As far as that goes, it's not really important because he's now Sacramento King. He's a head coach for them. But all in all, guys, Kurt Rambis and Rob Pelinka running it. That's pretty. That's pretty hard to trust. Now, am I open-minded about it, and am I still hopeful that they'll have a successful offseason? Yes, I am. Another rumor I've been hearing that's not very good is that LeBron James camp no longer potentially is trusting the Lakers and the franchise based on the recent direction that they're headed. So, that's pretty tough, man. If LeBron does end up requesting a trade, his trade value is going to go down. And on top of that, it'll make the franchise look really, really bad, man. And so hopefully LeBron doesn't request a trading. He gives this new front office, whoever they are, a chance to move forward and hopefully do something well. On the bright side, they're doing their due diligence. Yeah, they interviewed Jason Kidd, but they already interviewed Tyronn Lue twice, or they're about to interview him for a second time. Monty Williams is about to get a second interview. And we're also going to have Juwan Howard coming in from what I've heard, or they already did, and I'm not exactly sure. Hey, what's up, T? What's up, guys? But it's really tough, man. I hope that Kurt Rambis, if he is running things in the background, I hope he does a good job, and I hope he actually does a great job of vetting coaches and getting to each and every single one of them, because we need to be able to hire the right coach for the job, somebody that can develop and can get handle the reins of coaching and an NBA superstar, or potentially another one if he comes this summer, like LeBron and potentially Kyrie or somebody like that. So we do have some competition. Phoenix just fired their head coach today. They're going after Monty Williams, which was my favorite. He was my favorite option for the Lakers moving forward, simply because of his experience with USA Basketball and the relationship he had with Anthony Davis. However, in positive news, it is being said that Rob Pelinka was actually not involved in none of these trades. Basically, it was Magic Johnson running the show. So if that has any indication moving forward, Rob Pelinka actually believes in the young core. It's also being reported that Rob Pelinka told Kyle Kuzma that he wouldn't get traded unless it was for a top 3 player in this league. So that could get him some sort of assurance that he's a part of the future moving forward, which is probably something he didn't have when Magic was here. If you want to look at the bright side, man. But at the end of the day, anything's possible this offseason. I feel like if they don't land a max free agent, then they're going to have to swing for the fences and trade for a superstar to appease Laker Nation, and especially LeBron James. Me, on the other side, I'm willing to stay patient and let the young core grow, and hopefully we do well moving forward. We could, again, I have content coming up for the potential draft picks, depending on where we land in the lottery. So I'm crossing my fingers there, and hopefully that will turn our luck this summer. But moving forward, guys, I completely want to hear nothing but positive news. I'll get to your comments for a little bit, and then I'll move on with the Luke Walton situation. He said, we were looking like a third-tier team, Dan. I wouldn't go that far. To me, from what I've heard, Stephen A. says that we're still in the running for KD. Now, how credible Stephen A. and his sources are, I have no idea, because from what I've heard, the Lakers have locked and closed the doors moving forward, and nobody's really hearing anything, not even Momo. Ramona Shelburne has been on the radio recently saying that she really hasn't heard too much from who's running the organization or whatnot. But from the scraps we can gather, Stephen A. says that we're up there in the running for KD still, and so are the Knicks. So if I'm KD and I have a chance to go compete for a championship with LeBron and potentially take down the Warriors, who were talking down on me after I helped them win championships, I would take that option. But then again, if he wants to be elevated to a different level as far as an icon and try to win a championship in New York, that could also work in his benefit. So it all depends on what he's looking for. From what I know, he's a Cali guy, and he's always been a Laker fan. So that's actually, to me, has always been a possibility. Carolina says, if you hope the Lakers will do good, then stop talking bad on them. I'm absolutely not talking bad on them. However, I have to keep it 100, in perspective. It's not looking good for the front office as of right now, but at the end of the day, I'll say this. I always try to keep it and put a positive spin. You guys that have been rocking with me for a long time know I try to be as positive as I possibly can. All I'm saying, though, is that, there's good aspects to this offseason thus far, and there's also a bad side. So, pretty much that's all I'm trying to say. We also can't live in a pipe dream and pretend like everything's all candy land and good. But at the same time, I understand your point, and I respect it. We have to try to stay positive as we are, one of the strongest, mentally strongest fan base out there that are always ridiculed by the media and chased, as far as the fan base goes and talked down to, even though I believe we're the greatest fans in the world, right? But at the end of the day, guys, let's be real. Right now, so far, the offseason, I do like the fact that they're looking at multiple options as far as coaching goes. I don't like the fact that Kurt Rambis is running it, because I saw what he did in New York as a head coach and as an advisor to Phil Jackson. And if Kurt Rambis is running it, you have to wonder if it's only a matter of time before Phil Jackson gets some sort of role with the front office, even though, again, you never know what's going to happen with Jeanie Buss. But I'm cheering for her, guys. I want Jeanie to succeed. You guys know how I feel about her. She would be, if she was ever successful and able to lead this team to a championship, from a front office perspective, she'd be one of the first females to ever do it. So we have to cheer that on, even though a lot of people are already throwing eggs on her and all that. But I'm keeping hope alive. This summer is going to tell me a lot about our stature and where we're at, right? Are we on the road back to glory, or are we further away than we initially thought when we acquired LeBron James? Another little rumor, another little nugget that you guys might not know about, or if you have, I'm still going to refresh your memory. But the Magic Johnson apparently is still advising Jeanie Buss behind the scenes, and he's still going to get involved with free agent recruitment. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. We're going to have to find out and see what the results are looking like this summer. But the fact that he's still involved, maybe he wanted to tamper. That's why he broke free from his role. Maybe he didn't want all the responsibilities of scouting. I don't know what the deal was there. But the fact that he still wants to get involved with the Lakers could potentially make that move not look so bad on the Lakers' end, right? So T said, things are getting very real. Every day that goes by, all eyes stay on the Lakers. Yes, it's funny how we're still the center of attention, even though the playoffs are going on. By the way, I enjoyed the Brooklyn series, even though I felt like they should have won at least 2 games. They're probably going to lose tonight. I didn't finish watching what the score was. I don't know if it's over or not, but they were getting whooped early on. But I enjoyed that series. The Portland Trailblazers have surprised me. I didn't think they would have enough firepower to compete with the Thunder, simply because they had Steven Adams mismatch. But Enes Kanter has really stepped this game up. And, of course, we know it's Dame time, baby. It's Dame time. So, they disrespected him. And at the end of the day, he's a humble beast. He doesn't brag, doesn't really flex like Westbrook or nothing like that. But he's a respectful young man. And I love me some Damian Lillard. To me, he's one of my favorite guards in the league for sure. And I wish him continued success in the playoffs. I'm very curious to see how far, CJ and Dame could take that Portland Trailblazers team. Second round, potentially even third. I don't know. But they've made a believer out of me. The way they're playing, man, they're just absolutely killing it. And I'm definitely enjoying watching, Paul George and the Thunder go down, because they're so cocky and disrespectful to the media, to the fans. And, Paul George saying this summer that he wanted to go with the team that best gave him a chance to win a championship. And I know we didn't make the playoffs, but had we had Paul George the way he played earlier in the season, I think that we would have went further in the playoffs than the OKC Thunder. I can almost all but guarantee that. So the irony in that quote, in that interview he had with Dwayne Wade, the fact that he went over there to potentially try to move past the first round and the second round and beyond, and they haven't moved past the first round since KD left. So that says a lot about a lot of things. Westbrook, to me, has always been overrated. You guys already know how I feel about him. I definitely don't like his personality. He plays hard. I give him that. He's always playing hard. I personally call him steroids because he's always upset and he's always taking his anger out. And like I said, I've had friends that took steroids before, so I know that anything can get under their skin, and that's exactly how Westbrook acts. So whether the fact that he's taking him or not, it's irrelevant. My point is that he's too cocky for his skill set. He still can't shoot consistently. He's a couple bricks away from being the next Ben Simmons, and honestly, he needs to humble himself because right now I don't know what he's acting like, but it's not looking good. There's kids that look up to this guy, so he should be more like Dame and less like Westbrook. But I know I'll get criticized for that because everybody loves Westbrook. He's very tough-minded. He's an old-school type player, so I do respect that. But I just wish he cleaned his act off the court, But moving on, guys, Luke Walton. So, again, I'm sure you guys already heard this, but I was saving this video for like the middle of the week, hoping that something broke for the Lakers, but it hasn't, right? It's all rumors. It's all hearsay for now. But Luke Walton has been accused of sexual charges by Kelly Tennant. If you guys remember, she was on Spectrum Sportsnet, very good reporter, and she was a host there with the show, along with James Worthy and a couple of other guys there. So yeah, he was accused of sexual assault, and I'm not here to talk down on him because everybody's innocent until proven guilty. However, I will say this, man. I hope it didn't happen. If it happened, prayers out for her because honestly, like no woman should ever go through something like that. But at the same time, sometimes women lie. Sometimes it's a cash grab, unfortunately. So they have to make sure they investigate the whole thing and everything. So again, I'm on nobody's side on this. Again, innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, I'll say this: I am glad we got rid of Luke. That is not a distraction we needed here in LA with all the current distractions we already have and all the losing and stuff like that, right? So the fact that happened, I guess it was perfect timing for us to split ways with him. And unfortunately, I'd hate to say it like this, but that is Sacramento's problem, right? Not to sound heartless and cruel. Again, prayers out to whoever is a victim in this situation. I'm not siding, right? But, hopefully they're able to resolve that and move forward. But, yeah. LOL was waiting to hear your thoughts and going live. Glad you're keeping us updated. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've been trying to hear any breaking news and come to you guys with that. That's why it took me a while, honestly. But at the same time, I couldn't wait any longer. There's so much going on with the franchise right now, and I had people hitting me up on Twitter talking about when am I going to go live. So I had to make it today just to touch bases with you guys, keep you guys updated. I'll be dropping a video sometime this week. I was working the weekend, so these are my days off, and I'll be working on a video for you guys as far as who are the top 5 free agents the Lakers should go after and what's the pecking order, right? From 5 all the way to 1. So look forward for that. I appreciate you guys for always staying in tune, though. I appreciate it. Keep it locked right here. All things Lakers all summer long. But we cannot judge anybody, guys. We cannot call anybody names in that situation. You can look at it from both sides. It could be a cash grab because why didn't she speak up sooner, right? But at the same time, her job could have been on the line because at the time that this, according to sources, this happened before Luke Walton took the job with the Lakers when he was in Golden State. And she was working at the time for the Lakers. So it could have been a conflict of interest for the Lakers potentially, and they could have let her go because they didn't want it to become a distraction, right? How can you have somebody suing somebody who's working for the network, right? So it makes sense that potentially she came out late. So I'm not going to call her no names. Again, I'm not going to say anything about Luke, even though he gives me certain vibes that I don't want to talk about on air. But I will say this, man, innocent until proven guilty, and we'll go from there. Again, I'm glad that that's not our problem, though, right? I'm going to read this question in Spanish, guys, and I'll read it again in English for you guys. Dan, ¿qué pasó con Jason Kidd ahora? He asked me what happened with Jason Kidd today. Well, apparently they interviewed him on Monday. That's what happened. And apparently it was Kurt Rambis and Rob Pelinka running the show. So I don't know. Dan, why haven't they looked at Mark Jackson? They're still going through coaches, so everything's possible. But I am glad they already interviewed Monty Williams. He looks like a strong favorite to get the job. And As far as Mark Jackson, I'm not sure if he'll get the shot, but we went through Jason Kidd, Ty Lue, Monty Williams, Juwan Howard, and who knows who still is going to get interviewed behind the scenes that we won't hear the reports till like the next coming days. By the way, have you guys been keeping up with Game of Thrones? It's getting crazy, guys. It's getting crazy, man. And I'm excited for Sunday. They said Jason Kidd interview was out of courtesy. I mean, you have to do your due diligence. I know a lot of people hate on Jason Kidd, but I give him a lot of credit for the Giannis development, right? Again, we'll see what happens there. But right now, the top two favorites from what I've heard are Ty Lue because of his championship experience and coaching LeBron and holding him accountable potentially, and Monty Williams. So that's what I'm hearing, right? We need a coach like Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks. Yeah, we absolutely. Anybody from the Greg Popovich coaching tree would be great. And I think Lakers girl made a great point that Eter Messina is out there, right? And he's a great assistant for Pop, and he should definitely get a shot at it. But there's a lot of good candidates. And again, I'd be happy with Monty. I'd be okay with Juwan. It'd be questionable for me with Ty Lue, but however, he does have championship experience, so I'd give him a shot. We'll have to see about Jason Kidd. But she said, I'm still hitting rewind. Hello. That's a bad track. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. I'll be definitely working on a lot of music this summer. I'm going to have a lot of free time as well as covering the Lakers. So I do like the summer because I get a lot of free time and I'm able to work on my tracks. I'm able to work on certain things. I cannot talk about this project I'm going to be working on, but I think I'm going to be dropping a mixtape pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. Definitely keeping myself busy. But thank you guys for all the love and support, man. Couldn't do it without you guys, definitely. Dan, the Lakers for head coach. See, I just personally, it's an honor when you guys say stuff like that. However, I don't have the experience myself. So it would be hypocritical of me to say that I should be the coach when I'm asking for experience and, But thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love, man. He said the Lakers need to hire someone to handle this bad press. You know what? We're the Lakers. They're always going to talk. And as long as we're not winning, they're going to talk negatively because it's clickbait. Who doesn't click on the negative articles or positive articles when it's regarding the Lakers? Think about it. We've been out of the playoffs now for the past 6 years, and we're still the main topic of conversation. That would be another way to bring free agents. But potentially somebody like KD or Kawhi don't want that kind of attention. But if you're going after somebody like Kemba Walker or Jimmy who want to be known as top-tier stars, I would show them, look, guys, we haven't made the playoffs in 6 years, and we're still the main topic of conversation around the league. ESPN talks about us daily. So if you want notoriety, you want better shoe deals, you want to get recognized as an elite player, here's a perfect platform for you guys to come play alongside LeBron. And that would be my way of recruiting the B-tier free agents. However, the A-tier free agents, wherever they go, they're going to make a buzz, right? The KDs, the Kawhis. So you really don't have to sell them on that. But I believe we have a good shot at both of them, guys. I don't mean both of them at the same time, but I mean at either or. I think I have a gut feeling, and I'm 50-50 on this, but I have a feeling we're going to get either Kawhi or KD. I don't know why, but let me tell you guys why. Because if I'm thinking from their perspective, right? If I'm Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard, these guys want the spotlight. They want the shine. I know KD always acts like he's annoyed from the media, but make no mistake, he does like the attention, whether he admits it or not. And I'll say this, from what I'm hearing, KD is considering the Lakers. He has a home in LA, and his business opportunities would be sky's the limit. Not just that, but the reason I would join if I'm KD or Kawhi is because of this. The Lakers haven't made the playoffs in 6 seasons. LeBron came. He was supposed to be the savior. Injuries plus, his a little bit of lack of leadership. He fell short. So what happens? KD or Kawhi come. We make the playoffs. They're going to get all the glory. All the glory is going to go to Kawhi, or at least the balance is going to be shifted towards whatever player comes. Because if LeBron can do by himself, they are going to mention how this player came and put us over the top. So whoever comes, there's a lot of praise coming for you. And if you ever win a championship for LA, your banner is going to hang, your jersey is going to hang from the rafters along with all the greats. Your legacy is going to be multiplied by 10. There's a reason why KD is a 2-time finals MVP and there's still no respect on his name. That's because he plays for the Golden State Warriors. If he wants to put that respect back on his name, come play for the Lakers. We have the biggest fan base in the world, the most loyal fan base in the world. And we also have a lot of bandwagons that always come with whatever superstars come. So pretty much I'm going to tell you this. KD comes, as long as he wins, his reputation will be restored as an elite player. Right now, everybody calls him a snake, a cupcake. you still got to respect his skill set, but you can see it in his face. He's not happy in Golden State, even though he's winning. So anything is possible. All bets are off this summer. I won't hold my breath for them, but I still have hopes, guys. He said, yo, what up, brother? Been a minute since I came onto the live stream. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you, LA Forever. Good to see all you guys, man. It feels like forever, right? We've only been, away from the regular season for like 2 weeks, but it feels like forever, man. And that's why I don't like missing the playoffs, because I would love to be covering the playoffs as a Laker diehard, with you guys, man. But unfortunately, we have to one more year of this. Lakers are finished. Sorry, Jeanie is a joke. Gotta have just a smidget, bit of optimism, in my opinion. But hey, you're entitled to your opinion, man. What if Golden State three-peat, Dan? A three-peat is equivalent to one championship for the Lakers, right? If KD comes and wins one championship for the Lakers, it'll be the equivalence of one three-peat in Golden State. That's how much bigger our market is. That's how much more pressure there is in LA. And I'm telling you guys, man. I think Kevin Durant would definitely, if he wants to restore, if he truly doesn't care what people think about him, then he won't care. He'll stay in Golden State or go elsewhere. But if he truly wants to restore his identity as a superstar, as an elite player, as a leader, this is the place for him, man. I don't see any other place that can do that better. I do not want Ty Lue. Anything's possible. Right now, we have to be open-minded as Laker fans. To me, anything's an upgrade from Luke Walton. But it's always been like that, man. Always been like that. KD selling his Malibu house. Maybe he wants to go, down to Hollywood or somewhere closer, man. Closer. I don't know. He said, I'm not sure what to think about the team no more, Dan. Talk to me. Well, right now we're in limbo because we don't know in which direction we're going. And we won't know till we hire a president of basketball operations and a head coach. After that, we can talk more. But for now, we have to stay optimistic. We have to hope that Jeanie and whoever else is at the helm are able to do a good job, right? That's all we can hope on for now. We will see this summer in what direction we go, and then we'll be optimistic or pessimistic. But you know me, I always have to stay optimistic. I love the Lakers, man. Even if we didn't make the playoffs, God forbid, but if we didn't make the playoffs for 10 seasons in a row, I'm going to stay positive because I'm a diehard, man. They already spoiled me in my lifetime. I got to see them win a lot, more than any other franchise. So we have to stay positive, right? James Caldwell. Hey, Dan, we need Mark Jackson and top executive. Thanks, James, for the donation. I agree, man. I don't understand. Well, from what I've heard, since Mark Jackson is a Christian, he had some negative things to say in San Francisco, right, in Golden State, about homosexuality. We know in the era we live in, you say anything negative about that, you're going to be villainified, especially around the league, right? Especially a league that has ambassadors like Jason Collins that are fighting against, discrimination, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I can understand if he never coaches again, why. Do I think it's fair? No. I think everybody should be entitled to their opinion, at the end of the day, but that has nothing to do with coaching. So I don't know why they're shutting him out. But that only shows you how politics, are so powerful, and you got to be careful when you're in a professional position or even any kind of platform, even here where I'm at. I have to be careful of the things you say, because they can be scrutinized and twisted against you, and that'll be the end of that, Personally, I have nothing against anybody. So I really have no opinion on what Mark Jackson believes. However, those are Mark Jackson's beliefs, and you have to understand he came from a religious background. So they're raised differently. I don't think he's racist or anything like that, or whatever you guys want to call it. I just think, that's his opinion. But at the end of the day, guys, I feel like he should get at least a job interview with the Lakers, and I'd be a little shocked if he doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a longtime Laker fan, but I feel so embarrassed right now. No faith for the front office. Don't never feel embarrassed for the Lakers, man. Last I checked, we have banners hanging up there. You know who should be embarrassed by the foolish way they've acted as fans? The Clippers. They should be embarrassed because they've never won banners, and they're over here talking smack. But us as Laker fans, we got to hold our head up high, guys, and, be prideful as Laker fans, man. We've been spoiled, and we're used to winning. So this new uncharted territory, these last 6 years have been uncharted territory. And this is why I tell Clipper fans all the time. Talk to me when you guys start winning the playoffs. Y'all popping champagne because y'all made the playoffs. Laker fans stay classy. We don't pop champagne because we make the playoffs. We pop champagne when we win the championship. We won't even pop champagne if we make it to to the Western Conference Finals, right? So we got to stay proud, man. We're a golden standard of a franchise who always have to hold our heads up. And I'm proud to be I'm very proud to be a Laker fan, and I always will be proud. And again, I don't care if we lose 100 seasons in a row. With the glory that I've witnessed, I could die happy. However, I die a lot happier if we start winning pretty soon. So let's hope for the best, and let's move on from there. Are they considering Kurt Rambis? For all we know, he could just be an interim, right? He could just be acting as a family advisor or whatever, and he could be there just to make sure that Rob Pelinka doesn't do anything stupid. We don't know. But at the same time, it's not looking good if he's running it, because from his track record, he hasn't run things very well. He hasn't been a good advisor for Phil in New York. And other than the fact that they drafted Porzingis, that was probably their biggest accomplishment. But he hasn't been a good head coach. He's still running the triangle. So his track record doesn't really speak volumes for him. However, the Lakers are his franchise. We know Kurt. We know Kurt from the Showtime Lakers. And even though I shouldn't be saying this, for some reason, man, I feel like we'll be in okay hands. But it's not a guarantee. We still have to see what happens. Bottom line is I am hoping for somebody with more experience and with a better track record that could come in and hopefully do something. I'm still crossing my fingers in hopes that the initial reports that Colin Cowherd and these other sources were reporting about the Lakers having somebody from the playoffs are true, because that could be the best case scenario for us. Dan, do you think Kawhi and Bron are a good mix? Shannon thinks no. Absolutely. Kawhi Leonard would instantly become our best two-way player on the team. LeBron James, our best playmaker, along with Lonzo. And, a lot of pressure would be taken off of LeBron as far as scoring down the stretch, which I think he doesn't really excel well in. I think he's better as a primary playmaker or a decoy. If he drives and kicks it to somebody for the game-winning shot, I have more faith in that than him driving at this current age, losing his athleticism and getting blocked by Mario Hezonja or somebody like that, right? But if Kawhi comes, man, the claw's only, 26, 27? He's still in his prime. He'll grow with the young core. When LeBron's gone, we'll have a leader to continue to carry this franchise, and it'll be the best case scenario. But KD's 30. He's still relatively young for basketball age. They don't start declining until they're like 34, 35, ironically, LeBron's age. But I still prefer the younger Kawhi Leonard, who's a better defender, who's actually done a great job in the finals, has won finals MVP, locking down one of the best teams ever assembled in the Miami Heat. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this summer. But I would probably cry tears of joy if we land Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant. Those are my top two free agents, just so you guys know. Those are my top two targets. You can land one of those, we better start planning a championship down Figueroa Street, guys, because it's coming sooner than you guys think. That and a couple of role players, if you add, it's a wrap. Because two things happen. The Lakers strengthen at every position if we add somebody like KD or Kawhi. And the other thing that happens, a lot of role players that normally take higher contracts will take pay cuts to come play for LA and win a championship. So, all of that. I already gave my thoughts on Luke Walton, but again, innocent until proven guilty. I'm not signing with either one. But I will say that I am glad that he's no longer a part of this franchise. How come no one thinks that B.I. Cruz or Lonzo is going to take over the NBA next year? Because you don't want to put that kind of pressure on anybody like that, Father of Bass. You definitely don't never want to. It definitely can happen. I hope it does. But you don't want to put that kind of pressure on young guys. You want it to come along. You start putting that kind of pressure, then they get traded when they don't perform, right? And then the city will put pressure on them. So you don't want to say stuff like what Magic said. He expected 20 plus from Brandon. Stuff like that could actually set back young players. You want them to play freely, and you want them to pretty much be relaxed and under control when they play basketball with no expectations. Once they actually become stars, that's when the expectations come, because they're already known for it, right? Now the defense starts game planning for them. Now there's actual pressure for them to perform, right? And to show that, the previous season wasn't a fluke. So it's up to them to continue to not be a one-hit wonder year after year. And that's when the pressure comes. B.I. is actually going to be on his fourth year. But again, everybody has a different timeline. Some players perform in year 3, some in year 4, some in year 5. But I'm very pleased where Brandon Ingram currently is, minus the injuries. And I think he's only going to continue to progress. Dan, can we afford Kawhi and Kemba? Where there's a will, there's a way. If those guys want to come at a lower rate we can do like one of those contracts where the first year they take a pay cut and then they opt out in the second year to re-up for a max contract on both of them. Because remember, you under the new CBA, from what I've heard, you can have up to 3 max contracts. That would be LeBron, it would be Kawhi, and it would probably be Kemba, even though I don't feel like Kemba's a max. But in order to assemble that team, you could probably get them to take like, I don't know, 22, 23 mil a year for the first year, opt out, and then get paid extra on their new contracts on the back end. So there's always ways, guys, for sure, you know. There's always ways, and it's up to the players to put their ego to the side, because nowadays players just want to collect. I'm not sold on Kemba. I rather Lillard. Me too. Definitely would rather prefer Damian Lillard. However, Lillard is not a free agent, and it would take a lot to land him, especially the way he's performing in the playoffs. DTLF, I just watched the woman accusing Luke. I am so glad Luke is gone. Yeah, I've been saying that again. Everybody's innocent till the end. However, yeah, I agree, man. It's unfortunate, and let's hope everything works out well for both parties. Hopefully, Luke didn't do it, but if he did, hopefully, you know, she's able to recover from it, because it's always tough. You know, here's one thing, man. I've noticed, you know, as a man, that there's a lot of perverts out there, man, that just pretty much they see women. You know, they don't tend to see women as the beautiful people that they are, right? They have feelings, guys. You know, they're not just sexual objects. You know, this is for everybody who pretty much just wants to have sex all the time. They're not just objects, man. You gotta make sure you treat a woman right before she gives herself completely up to you. And a lot of guys that are in power, you know, don't want to mention no names, but example, Luke Walton, who make millions, they think just because they make money and, you know, potentially a journalist under him, you know, they're basically going to bow down and do whatever they want, and they can get whatever they want. I'm not saying this is the case, because nothing is factual as of right now. But all I'm saying is you guys have to, you know, if there's any of you guys out there that have raging hormones, and I know what that is. I was a teenager once, and I know what raging hormones are when you just want to have sex and you just want to, you know, women are beautiful. But at the same time, you have to respect them, man. Women want a lot more from a relationship than just sex. And you never want to force yourself upon something where you're not wanted. Definitely not. So, you know, it's unfortunate if it did happen to Kelly. Hopefully she recuperates from it and is able to trust men once again. And if it didn't happen, well, hopefully she learns a lesson and doesn't, you know, lie the next time, because that's horrible on the guy's perspective. You know, if you're a guy like me who tries to be classy and tries to be a gentleman, and then he gets accused of things, there's no worse feeling than that. I've personally seen family members go through it. So being accused falsely, you know, women do have a lot of rights in this country, as they should. And, you know, they shouldn't abuse those rights either. So there's two sides to every story, man. And the truth always comes out sooner or later. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you so much, T, man. Thank you so much. Man, y'all show me so much love. $20 just like that, huh? Always keeping it real. Thank you guys, man. Tenant is fine as can be, but you are right. Yeah, you know what? Women are very attractive. We know that. You know, we men sometimes, unfortunately, you know, get carried away because of it. And you know, be able to control yourself. And it's our job as parents. I'm not a parent, but I'm around a lot of parents. So I see that the way they raise them, you know, it's their job to teach them to respect women from a young age, because a lot of times it comes from the household, right? And, you know, young ladies too, you know, y'all got to start, you know, dressing your age and stop trying to attract, because there's a lot of men out there that are just looking for one thing, you know, like Lauryn Hill says, one thing. So pretty much y'all got to start, you know, don't mean to sound like your pops or nothing, but y'all got to start, you know, acting your age and making sure you don't put yourself in those harmful situations as well. So it goes both ways. But at the end of the day, guys, I just hope everything, you know, comes out good in that situation. Best case scenario in that situation, she's lying and he doesn't get accused of it. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, she was telling the truth and she gets traumatized from it. So, you know, prayers up for both of those families and hope for the best. Dan, do you think Kawhi and Kyrie will take less to come together? Anything's possible, man. I've seen it done before. Pat Riley was able to do that in Miami. I think Golden State was able to do that with KD and Clay and all these guys to take pay cuts. If it's done, it can be done again. But it depends how much will they have to win, right? If they have will to win and they want to compete versus Golden State, that's the perfect thing you do. You take a pay cut, you get all that money back the next year in those back half contracts, like I mentioned earlier. But, you know, she can't prove it. No cameras inside the hotel room. Man, again, I'm not going to dive into that. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. But with technology, things can be proven. I'm sure they're going to go through text messages, emails, all kinds of stuff. If they find one dirty thing or any sort of foul play, then he's going to be subject to, to pay up big time. But again, all that matters if he is guilty is her well-being mentally. That's what matters to me. Money can't heal everything. Money doesn't buy you everything. So hopefully, she's able to emotionally heal her scars and continue to be happy in her life, because everybody deserves to be happy. What do you think about Blake to LA? I've always been a Blake Griffin fan. Never liked him on the Clippers because I thought he flopped a lot, but he always plays hard and he plays his heart out. However, that contract, no way. I'm not getting him as a max player when he's already on the wrong end of 30. He's on the decline as far as athleticism. 50% of his game relies on athleticism, even though he's added a lot to his game. I will say no to that, though, man. He said it's hard to trust women too, Dan. Absolutely. But see, this goes back to the way you're taught when you're, raised at home. My parent, because I was raised from a single mother, and she taught me that trust is given and earned, right? It's not something you can earn in a one-night stand or go out with somebody and just give them your full trust after like a week or even a month. Sometimes it takes a lot of time, right? So you have to be careful and you have to value yourself as well. Take care of yourself, because if you give out your trust, it could be crushed, right? Same thing goes for relationships. Sometimes in relationships, hearts get broken and people never trust again. And that's a hard thing to recuperate. So, just as men, though, because, I put myself in a woman's position at all times, and it could be a scary world. Think about it. Men can do things women can't. We can walk, to the store at night in the middle of the night. Women, they have to carry pepper spray on them or, be extra precautious because there's a lot of maliciousness and they're vulnerable, right? Because they're not as strong as men, unfortunately. So, even though some women are stronger than men. So I don't mean that generally, but, in most cases, these situations, they get taken advantage of, it's scary. It's a scary world if you're a woman out there, man, even more so than to a man. Man, as long as you're respectful and you don't overstep your boundaries, and also you have to have a little bit of luck, because sometimes you might run into a psycho girl who just wants to make false allegations. She's having a bad day. You never know. So there's always a little bit of everything. But bottom line is, for the most part, if you're respectful as a young man or even a grown adult or whatever, you're respectful, you shouldn't really run into any trouble. A woman, when she gives herself to you, she'll let you know, man. You will know when the moment's right for whatever, because, it's a beautiful thing when two people give themselves to each other. But enough of that, guys. Bottom line, let's get back to the basketball, man. That's a whole nother topic for conversation, maybe potentially even for another channel, right? Yeah, pretty much. He said, Dan, you should make a love channel and give out advice. Now, I've been told that before, at work. Sometimes people come up to us, younger couples, and they've asked us how we've lasted so long and stuff like that. We give them advice and they always listen and they tell us stuff like that. But I'm no expert, man. I just try to be humble and if especially for the younger crowds, try to educate them a little bit, because sometimes they need some sort of guidance. Not all superheroes wear capes. So if you could contribute anywhere, that'd be great. That would be great. But hey, that's not a bad idea, right? A channel to give advice, that's not a bad idea. She said, LOL, combo was going south. It was. It could go like that sometimes, T. Easily. Would you like Randall back? Absolutely. Randall and D'Angelo, I would love them. Honestly, I would even take Clarkson off the bench if he came at a discount. I know he's not out of contract. But one of the players I miss the most, simply because of his humbleness and his personality, and he's just a glue guy. I think he'd be perfect for a championship team. Larry Nance Jr. Larry Nance, man, he holds a place in my heart. I feel like he's family, man. I find that a lot of my traits are similar to his as far as personality, man. He's a really chill dude, and it tore me up inside. A little piece of me died when he got traded, right? Because I was a big Larry Nance Jr. fan, simply because of the way he handles himself on and off. You know, it reminds me of the humble guys like Derrick Rose, you know, like Damian Lillard. I always love players like that. They're beasts, man, and they let their game do the talking. They don't have to brag about it. Dan, are you liking the NBA playoffs so far? I'd like them a lot more if the Lakers were involved. I'll tell you that. It's not the same. It's not the same without Lakers, man. It just isn't. Ratings are down by 30%. I know some people say it's because of LeBron. It very well could be partially because of that, but you have to admit it's just a different feeling when the Lakers are involved. I remember as a kid watching the Lakers in the playoffs, you know, watching every single game in the playoffs, just wondering how the Lakers would match up against each team, just in case we faced them even in the finals from the East to the West. So, you know, I miss those times, and we'll see. We'll be there soon. Dan, do you believe Jason Kidd deserves props for developing Bucks player like Giannis, Malcolm Brogdon? Definitely Giannis. Giannis even had a close relationship with him. I know a lot of reports say otherwise, but from what I saw, Giannis was hurt when he got fired, and I think Giannis, you know, he played a lot of point guard under Jason Kidd, and that really helped him become a different animal. Because another coach could have came in and said, you know what, Giannis, you're big, you're going to be a center or a power forward, and took away a lot of skill set from him, made him develop a post game, took away dribbling, you know, and stuff like that. What makes Giannis a beast, not just in transition, but is that he can do it all, man. And that's something you got to give credit to Jason Kidd for. I'll take a couple more questions, guys, before I get off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just a brief update. Thank you so much, guys, for the donations as well. T, thank you. I appreciate the love as always. You know, thank you guys so much. But I'll take maybe 2 to 3 more questions, depending on how interesting they are. So hit me, guys. Anything. LA's time is coming. Trust that. And when it does, we will be here. Thanks, T. I appreciate the loyalty. And yes, definitely, we will be here celebrating just like we are when you know, we're concerned about something. So I can't wait for the good days to roll around. It's only a matter of time. He said, Dan, what would you do if fillers get a big star? Wait, what was that? Let me reread that. Let me reread that question because it moved so fast I couldn't read it. He said, what would you do if the fillers get a big star or two? KD, Kawhi, Kyrie? Fillers? Are you talking about the Clippers? Man, if they want to throw away their career, go to the Clippers. That's a perfect place to waste. Just ask Blake Griffin. Waste your prime, go to the Clippers. Ask Chris Paul. Waste your prime, go to the Clippers. So, I mean, there's plenty of examples there. I'm the type of guy personally that I like to learn from others' mistakes instead of your own because it's more painful to do it that way, right? Learning on your own. But, you know, some people like to bump themselves in the head a couple times before they start ducking, right? So, sorry, late to chat. I listened to Kelly's audio statement. It sounds very convincing. Luke sounds in trouble. Again, man, I wish her the best if it is true, and hopefully it's not, for her sake and for Luke's sake as well. But, you know, again, it's a shame that this is so common in today's world, man. It's a dang shame. T said, peace out, fam. Have a good night. You too. Thank you so much. Dan, why nobody calls out Jeanie Buss? Because she's honestly, you know, when did Dr. Jerry Buss pass away? I think it was it 12, 13, or 14? I forgot, man, unfortunately. But when he passed away, from that moment to now, that's a small sample size. So, you know, we can't expect people to turn things around quickly. I know we're the Lakers and we should expect that, but I'm still willing to give her at least one more year, man. I give her this summer to turn things around. And if not, then we can start calling her out. But I'm very patient when it comes to Laker Nation, man. Definitely. Dan, love from the Philippines. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Videos coming to you guys this week for sure. I should release one before Thursday. If not, at the latest Thursday. But definitely on the top free agents, we should try to land. And more videos coming after that as well. So keep it locked right here. All things Lakers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. Much love, Laker Nation. Thank you guys for all the donations, all the subscriptions, all the love, man. I'm going to continue to do my part on this half and keep you guys updated. So, again, thank you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Truly helps the channel out. And let's see what happens in the next coming days as far as the Lakers are concerned. So keep it locked right here, all things Lakers, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one, Laker Nation. Peace out.